plata o plomo.
Performance. So let's see what we got going on today. I know we got some couple of stuff. We have Carlos with the chiller already installed on that blue Redeye. So we're going to show you guys how the chiller, how cold it gets, and then from there he's going to put the front bumper on, and then we'll go ahead and throw it on the dyno. And then we also are working on the Trackhawk. We're doing differential and axles on. So let's cut to that clip. All right, guys. So we have our scanner connected to this Redeye. We're gonna see what code it's throwing up. We're gonna see what code it's throwing. We're trying to. We just installed the chiller, so we're trying to make sure our temps are the where it's supposed to be. But the check engine light's on, but the battery did die, so it's probably just because of that. So, but we're gonna diagnose that right now and see what's going on. Here with Carlos. Carlos.
¿Ah? ¿Qué pasó? Cuéntame.
YouTube.
Aquí estamos terminando de reparar este charger. Le estamos instalando, tenemos que encender el chile, pero tenemos un detalle, entonces estamos buscando el código por el escáner. Aquí estamos, puro proforme. Dale guaya.
Fan. ¿Conectaste el fan?
No.
So he had to unplug the fan, and that's when the battery was still connected, so it threw that code, so that's why the chiller button wasn't working. So we went ahead and cleared the code out from the scanner, and then now chiller is activated. So we're gonna see what temp it gets down to. See my scanner? It's a little flex. It says full blown on it. Don't play. But we're gonna see what the temp get down to, make sure that we're getting the right temperatures that we're supposed to with the chiller, and then see what's going on. We got Melvin working on that RT, and then we have, like I said, we're getting Mr. Mo same day service. So we have the G-force axles going in, as well as the differential. So looks like they got one side down. Yeah, so they got one side down, so as you come over here, see the G-force, this is what we had. So got the G-force on that side, got the exhaust off, and then we have the other axle going in. So we're gonna take that axle off right now, and then get that done. So we also had BBL Hellcat pickup, so that one's done. And then we had the drop off for this gray Charger from Vegas. That's the one that he said it's leaking something, and then we need to fix something in the tune. So we'll get that knocked out as well. You're starting to see the lines are starting to get cold. Sir, that's chiller, man. So we're gonna have him put the front bumper on, go ahead and put the windshield wipers back on, put the intake on, and then we're gonna go ahead and put this on the dyno, and let's see what this baby makes.
Unas palabras.
Palabras, Carlos.
Bueno, ¿qué te puedo decir, papá? Ya terminando, estamos esperando ahora el escape para colocar el escape a esta herrera. Quedó como quiere el cliente. Un blower reverdeado, chile. ¿Qué más le colocamos? Le colocamos el damper, le colocamos el dracha, le colocamos ¿qué más le colocamos, chicos?
El brazo del diferencial.
El brazo del diferencial. Y no, nada, haciendo todo aquí con amor y con cariño.
Dashcam.
El casca sí.
No, la cámara.
La cámara, yo tengo la cámara. Ahí la tengo, la cámara. Falta colocarle esos accesorios y ya, para que le quede.
So the customer brought a dash cam for us to install. We'll install it for him, no biggie. So yeah, we're gonna let's see what the temp show inside already. What's the pumps installed? So right now it's showing 32 degrees on the IC temp. You want to zoom in right there. So 32 degrees, blower temps, chiller activated. So we still use the factory screen to activate the chiller. So I'm sure this customer's going to be happy. Very sick build he got going on. So I'm gonna let the battery charge up as well. So let's see what else we'll get into today. Okay, so welcome back to another video here at Full Blown Performance. This is a vehicle that came from Vegas that we put a stock motor in, or a Redeye motor in, when it had first came for a seized motor, and then we tuned it. A customer wanted it to be tuned. We did the IGLA on it. So it's been a few months, almost close to a year. A customer said there was something leaking on the vehicle. Upon inspection, it's leaking transmission fluid. We found one of the lines is leaking, so we went ahead and ordered that line, and we're waiting for that to come in so we could go ahead and install that and get this vehicle out of here. Right next to us we have another Redeye. This vehicle is in to go ahead and put the one-piece aluminum drive shaft back in. Customer states that one of the belts is making noise, so address that and then install a differential brace for it. Right behind it we have a Charger RT that was giving us issues. This was one for the books, a little headache, but we got it. So this vehicle originally came in from two other shops that couldn't diagnose the issue. It had a misfire. Vehicle, it's an RT tuned on E85 Hellcat injectors. So it had a misfire on two cylinders, cylinder 3 and cylinder 5. The customer took it to the first shop. They replaced spark plugs on it. The misfire went away. About a week later, I believe it was, misfire came back. Customer took it to another shop. They changed out the injectors for some other Hellcat injectors. Misfire went away, and then like a day later, 2 days later, the misfire was there, so the customer brought it to us. So we took a look at it, and the vehicle had two cylinders failing. It was cylinder 3, cylinder 5. We did our diagnosing, make sure that there was fuel, make sure that there was spark, and all that was present. We asked for a teardown diagnostics to remove the valve covers, to take a look at everything there. Everything looked fine. So we advised the customer, hey, we're gonna have to remove the heads, take a look at the lifters, and see actually what's going on. So we did, and we did find the lifters for those two cylinders to be bad. So we went ahead and did Hellcat lifters. We did a MDS delete. So we put the 4 plugs on top, and then we put everything back together, and our misfire moved over to cylinder number 1. So cylinder 3 and 5 were fine. So we double checked everything was fine. This vehicle's tuned by another shop. So we went over the tune. We made sure that we had turned off the MDS in the tune. We raised the idle, and it was just misfiring cylinder 1. But what was weird about it is it wasn't consistent. It was only when it wanted to. So we went ahead and took the valve covers off again. We checked our push rods. We wanted to see if there was a bent push rod. They looked fine, but we replaced all the push rods just in case. Put everything back together, and it was still misfiring cylinder 1. So we went ahead, went back into the tune, reverted back what we changed on the RPM side of it, raising up the idle, left the MDS off, and adjusting some other things in the tune, and the misfire is gone. So it was a little headache, but we got it, we figured it out. You know, it would have been much easier if this vehicle was not tuned by another shop, because we believe it was something in the tune that was causing that cylinder 1 misfire. It wasn't the push rods, but we figured that out, so that's 100% solid. You know, we advise the customer, hey, this vehicle needs a retune, because we don't know how you know, how that shop tunes. So, but yeah, I mean, we figured it out. So it's ready to go. Customer should come pick up, and then we'll get that out. And then Carlos. And then right over here we have a Jeep SRT that came in for motor mounts, spark plugs, and the oil change. So we had Edgar install the motor mounts, install the spark plugs, and do the oil change on it. So that's ready to go. Here we have this RT that we did the cam on, the customer supplied cam. So that is ready to be tuned. We're waiting on Z. And then over here, if you follow me, we have TRX. This is the one we're pulling the motor out. As mentioned in the previous video, we have to pull the motor out of both of these. So this one's basically ready. He already has the hook on there. He's just gonna jack it up and get it out of there, and then he'll start pulling the motor out of that one. And then Camaro waiting on Chiller. Chiller should come in this week, and we'll get that out. And then over here we have Melvin dropping the transmission out of the Mach 1. So this is transmission built by Midnight Performance. Customer was having some issues with it, so we're gonna pull it out, send it out, see what's going on, since it is built by them. And then over here we have Kamal Trackoff. We have Carlos installing the chiller for it. So this vehicle is getting an inner chiller on it, and then once we're done with that, we're gonna put the bumper back on, and then we'll drop the tank to install the fuel system that he purchased as well. So, and then here we have the Redeye. We just got the Corsa exhaust in, so once Carlos is done with this one, we'll go ahead and install that Corsa exhaust for this vehicle, and then we'll go ahead and get this vehicle tuned and get it out of here as well. So that's pretty much it that we got going on today. All the vehicles, 2650 or what? So we also have a Kong 2650 for our customer Alan Lee. So we posted a reel about this, but this is basically it. This 2650 by Kong uses the Eden rotor pack for 2650. So this is going to use the stock intercooler bricks, and it's also going to use the stock lid. So it's pretty cool. We're able to use a 130 millimeter throttle body as well, and so he even uses the stock throttle body with the adapter that they provide. So it's a true 130 inlet. So it's pretty cool. And then you can also use the stock lid on it. So we're gonna see what that makes on our customer's vehicle, and we'll show you guys the numbers in a couple of videos from now on how that works, and then we'll go from there. So let's see what else. All right, guys, so we got a few cars that we got working on today. We're gonna move some cars in to put a red Charger inside. We're gonna be doing an AWE exhaust. We have this RT that we did install the cam for the customer, and he brought his own cam. We're waiting on Z for that. I want to show you guys a blower that we have on display now. This is for a 3.0 Mustang. So we just want to show our customers, the options that they get for their vehicle. So obviously this is for a Mustang, but any Whipple supercharger, that's what we recommend here for someone trying to make some power out of the vehicle. Whipple's the way to go. So let's see what else we get into today. All right, guys, so we're gonna go pick up the blue Hellcat Redeye from the exhaust shop. We did the mid pipes, so we're gonna go ahead and pick that up and go from there. See what's up. Well, first we're gonna stop at the bank, get some cash. We're gonna get some cash at the bank, and so we can pay him, and then we'll go ahead and got a lot of vehicles to get out. So we're gonna pick that up, and then that will be next on dyno probably tomorrow.